Yeah!
Go! Go! Yeah!
Oh! That is a hit at a mile.
Alright guys, welcome back to 243 Outdoors, and yes, this is a 243 video. Tonight we're going to load up some of Preacher's bullets. These are the Barnes Varmint Grenade 62 grain 243 bullets. So this will be the lightest bullet I've ever shot in a 243. This is a flat base design, hollow point. It's a very wide hollow point, and I'm really looking forward to shooting these rounds. So what we've done is, this is the brass that we shot the Fort Scott Munition solid copper rounds in. I got a lot of 50 rounds and we've shot all 50, so this will be our first sizing. I've run all these through the tumbler a while ago and got them all cleaned up looking nice, and we are running them through our sizing die. We're just bumping the shoulders back 2 to 3 thousandths, and we're just running through these. I'm wiping the lube off as we go. We'll get the primer pockets cleaned out, check everything out, and then we'll start loading some bullets. So we have our Hornady bullet comparator here. We have it zeroed out, and we'll take a piece of brass here and we will insert it in. We are getting 1.626. These have been running 625 and 626. There's a 5.5. So we're going to put a little bit of this Hornady Unique lube on here. Just the very slightest little amount will be enough. Put it in our shell holder and we'll give it a quick size. All the way up and all the way back down. Take our comparator again and take a look, and we are at 623.5. So we're just barely bumping that shoulder back. This is pretty much just neck sizing it, and then just making sure the case. This feeds in the rifle excellent. It saves on our brass, and we get really good brass life by doing this. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is check some overall lengths. We want our overall length to be between 2.035 and 2.045. We had all this brass trim to 2.035 last time, and by bumping the shoulders, we're not overworking the brass. It doesn't stretch as much, and it just makes your brass last so much longer. So we're going to randomly check a few pieces here. I suspect everything is going to be just fine. Everything's between 37 and 38. So we're looking good on overall length. So let's clean out some primer pockets and then we'll get to priming our brass. We'll be using the Lyman Large Rifle Primer Pocket Cleaner. This is a very simple tool to use. You just stick it in, give it a couple twists, and I always tap it on the desk, and you have a clean primer pocket. These tools are very handy. They're very inexpensive. You can buy them as a kit or you can buy them individually. I just slowly been buying them one here and there, and I eventually pretty much got them all. So it doesn't take very much effort and it cleans that pocket right out. So we got everything measured out. I put a slight chamfer with the chamfer tool on there, and then now we are ready to prime our brass, and we're going to use the Lee hand primer. So I will run through these very fast, get them primed, and then we will proceed to loading some ammo. Just some absolutely beautiful looking Starline Brass. Just kick back watching a little PC Bullet Empire.
Thanks, guys. And I know it's a little late to say Merry Christmas.
Now that we got our brass all ready to go, we'll transfer a bunch of this to our little reloading box. Get these out of the way. So I'm going to need about 16 rounds, 4, 8, 12, 16, 32 rounds, 4, 8, 12, 16, 4, 8, 12, 16 for what we're going to load up. So we are going to load some Varmint loads over here, and we're going to load some CFE 223 loads over here. So I've already done my research, and I want to load up 36.5 to 38 grains of CFE 223. Then I want to go 40 to 41.4 using Varmint at an overall length of 2.620. So I'm loading the last charge of Varmint, then we will switch over to the CFE 223. This last charge will be 41.4 grains of Varmint. 41.3, let's just tap our trickler a time. 41.4, 41.4. Dump it in. Gotta move the funnel, I forgot to do that. So that is all for the Varmint. We will jump over to the CFE 223 for the remaining rounds. And this will be the last charge of CFE 223 at 38 grains. It's metering very well. And that one come up a couple tenths short, but I've only been trickling about a tenth. 38, 38, and 38. So we'll go ahead and dump that in. I want to get a flashlight and show you guys the case fill on this. This may cause some issues later, but the case fill is very low on these CFE 223 rounds. Probably a little lower than I'm comfortable with, but it's in the book, so we're going to shoot it. So I brought up the Hodgdon website, put in 243 Winchester, 62 grain bullet, Hodgdon powder, CFE 223, and Varmint, and you can see the load data. And the load data is for the exact bullet that we will be loading, the Varmint grenade. CFE 223, overall length of 2.620, starting charge of 34. We will be starting about 36 and a half, and it goes up to a max of 38, which we will be going up to. The Varmint charge starts at 39.3. We'll be starting at 40 grains and going up to the max of 41.4 grains. So the loads that we're using is in the book, all within specifications. I'll show you here if we can get the light. But on the CFE rounds, the case fill is probably slightly below 75%, probably more like 60 or 70%. It's really hard to show you guys with this, but there we got a glimpse of it. But as you can see, the Varmint's a little better. It's a little bit lower than I normally use, but it will work. So anxious to see how these shoot. Let's get our seating die in our press and seat some rounds. I use the quick change bushings on just about all my rounds anymore. All the dies are set up and tight, and all I have to do is insert them here, push this little button, turn it, and they're in. It is excellent for resizing dies. I set them up once and they're always set. So that's something to consider if you're running these Lee dies. So like I said, we'll be loading these rounds to 2.620. So we'll go ahead and seat some. I'm not really sure where this die is set. It's backed out a little ways, so we'll seat one in here and see what we get. So our first setting is 2.662. So we just need to shorten it up 40 thousandths, which is almost one full revolution, but we won't go quite that far. .621. So we'll leave it at that and go ahead and seat another one. We'll seat it halfway, we'll spin around a little bit, and we'll send it the rest of the way home. 2.622. I'm going to go ahead and put my bullet comparator on for the 243. And we'll check our rounds with the comparator. Zero it out. We're getting 2.205. Try this other round. It's a little shorter at about 2.04, so we're pretty close. Let's seat another in here. 2.04. So I'm going to leave that setting right where it's at. We'll check this overall length again and see what it is. But I'm happy with that. We're just going to leave our die exactly where it is and everything should be good. And we're at 2.618. So there is a little variance in the length, overall length of these, but the distance to the ogive is very similar. So we'll get a few more of these rounds seated here on camera and we will have our rounds loaded up. That one measures 2.236, quite a bit longer. I am going to put the comparator back for this one because I am very curious. The knee plats on these may be off a little bit, just kind of looking at them. And we're right there at 2.204. So I'm happy with that. Alright, so we got our rounds loaded up in our Starline Brass. Everything's good and ready to go. Like I said, the case fill, the CFE 223 is a little low, but it's on the book, so we're going to shoot it. A lot of you guys may know, but I posted a picture today, but we did pick up the Magneto Speed Sporter. So we'll be taking this out and giving it a try with this 243 brass. It was a very rainy day today, and I did take this out. We went up to my dad's garage, and I shot some 22s and some 17 HMRs out of his garage, out of the rain, and got a feel for this. It worked very well. So next time you see me, we'll be out on the range.